Sonic characters come in all different shapes and sizes. Some are small and others are very big. Some might be fast while others might be strong. It is very well known that Sonic the Hedgehog was originally going to be called Mr. Needle Mouse and be a white rabbit that could throw objects with his ears rather than a fast blue hedgehog. However, there are actually quite a number of other Sonic characters that had some rather unusual original designs. Shadow the Hedgehog is one of the most popular Sonic characters. However, he was originally going to be called Terios, possibly derived from the Japanese verb teriso, which means to compare with. He originally had a large scar on his face and a black cape. However, his final design was likely modified to make him look more like Sonic the Hedgehog. And the reason that they chose black and red is because Shadow's quills was inspired by Japanese kawati masks. When it comes to Silver the Hedgehog, he was originally going to be called Venice the Mink due to Soliana being based on Venice, Italy. He was going to be orange with more spiky quills behind him along with gray boots, and after over 50 design changes, he was transformed into a more silver and blue color. As for Super Silver's early concept pointing to his quills says he was based on Super Shadow's design. As for Cream the Rabbit, she was originally going to not be a rabbit, but rather a squirrel. She was going to have a massive tail and very small ears. It also seems she was originally going to look a bit older and not have the blue tie. Dr. Eggman was originally going to be based on Santa in his pajamas, but that made him look too nice, so they made his beard smaller, rounded out his head, and put him in a lab coat to make him look more evil. Rouge the Bat was always meant to be a bat that could fly. However, she was originally called Nails the Bat due to the original intention of giving her really long nails. Rouge's original design was inspired by Latin America as she originally had a cape, a white shirt, much smaller wings, and a very noticeable piercing around her ear. And later on they added the heart, longer gloves, and a more circular head. One of the most interesting original designs is Blaze the Cat, which she was originally called Char Ember Blaze, which at first she was meant to be all black with red on her shoes, arms, and eyes, along with the blue flames being emitted from her head. She also had a concept where she was all blue and purple with much of her body and head looking like a flame. Eventually she became more of a purple cat. However, she went through several clothing changes, which at first had no shoes and then a purple skirt. From there she almost had large red shoes, a scar on her face, purple pants with purple shoes, and even fire emitting from her before finally reaching her final design. Tails the Fox was originally going to be a Tanaki, which is a raccoon-like creature in Japanese mythology, which would have given him the power to shapeshift. Knuckles was originally going to have a Jamaican accent and have green on his dreadlocks. Classic Amy started with her quills behind her like Sonic, a green shirt, and an orange skirt, and she had a massive change to becoming modern Amy by brushing her quills back, giving her different boots and a red dress. At one point, Metal Sonic was going to be more circular and have quills that were more like Sonic's. Big the Cat was originally going to look a bit more like a beaver, with a bigger tail, slightly different eyes, and a different belt. And Jet the Hawk was originally going to look a bit more like a dog or wolf, with a skinnier tail and snout. At one point, his claws went through his boots and hands were fully feathered, and then they gave him more proper boots and gloves. That's going to do it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and remember, you gotta go fast!
Every night it just stays the same in my dream.